Hi, it's Kim Klein from Wealth for Life with a quick video on good debt, bad debt, and my thoughts on credit cards, Afterpay, and 0% interest loans. Let's start with the 0% loans. I have one sentence. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. Let's use an example. Your laptop has died and you have to get a new one for work. Let's say you find a laptop and it costs $1,500. Now you can pay it off over 15 months because I want to keep my maths simple. That's $100 per month. Plus, of course, the $10 a month fee. Now this is where most people get caught because they don't realise that that $10 per month fee can work out to an effective interest rate of 8% when you owe $1,500. But as you pay down that loan, it means that the effective interest rate also increases. And by the time you get down to that final payment of just $100, you're actually at an interest rate of approximately 83%. So as a general rule, I like to avoid these products and ensure instead that I have an emergency cash fund. And I'll talk more about that on another email. Okay, Afterpay. Now, I might be showing my age here as a Generation X, but Afterpay is one of those, if you don't have the money, then you probably shouldn't buy it. Now, I know you can say, oh, Kim, there's no fees, which is true, unless you make a late payment, and then there are fees. So you've still got to be careful using Afterpay. I'd prefer not to use it. I find usually it's only for non-essential items anyway, so it's one I tend to stay away from. Credit cards. Now you're probably thinking I'm going to say, don't get them, I hate them. But actually, there's probably 3 reasons why I don't mind credit cards. Probably the biggest one is getting a credit card. Now this is assuming that you're paying it off on a regular basis, provides you with a credit rating. Now that credit rating will help you when it comes to getting a home loan or an investment loan or pretty much any other loan. The banks will look favourable on you for having a credit card that you pay off on a regular basis. So the other reason I like credit cards is actually these days it's pretty hard to buy a lot of things. Travel is a great example. Another one is a lot of online purchases. The only way that you can do it is with a credit card. So that is fine. Sometimes you can use a Visa debit card, but not always. A lot of places will only accept the credit. So that's another reason why I don't mind credit cards. The third reason, little one, not a big deal, you do get rewards points. Yeah, that's great. You might get a free toaster or something like that, but that's not really a reason to get a credit card. That's just a bonus. Now, the one thing I will say about credit cards though, is if you're not paying them off in full every single month, then you really shouldn't have them at all. That's probably my number one thing to remember with credit cards. Pay it off in full or cancel it. Okay, what about bad debt? Now, I think I've probably covered what a lot of the bad debts are already, but the other examples would be your home loan, car loans, boat loans if you have one. Probably the best example is any asset that you've purchased with borrowed money that does not produce an income. If it doesn't produce an income, then essentially we call it bad debt. So that brings us to good debt. I know good debt sounds like an oxymoron, but probably the way to think of your good debt is this time we're looking at purchasing an asset where we think that over the long term, the return that you're going to get from that asset ends up being more than the interest rate and the fees that you paid to purchase that asset. So as long as your return is higher, then we see that as good debt. Great examples, investment properties and investment loans in general. Now, whether it's good debt or bad debt, what is most important is that you have your cash flow set up correctly. This way you can ensure that you always have the ability to cover any repayments for any loan that you take out. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, enjoy the journey.